Techie Tech Tips.
G'day, Matt from Chase the Weekend. How you going today? Well, if you've been following along over the last couple of weeks, you'll have obviously seen that we've been doing a bit of a upgrade in the old motorhome. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Hopefully we'll earn your subscription today. And if you do like the video, whether you're new or old, hit that thumbs up because it really helps spread it out far and wide. This is the last update for a little bit. We'll check back in probably in a few weeks or months once I have recovered from the trauma that has bestowed upon me. If you can hear that behind me, which you probably can, that's the aircon running, and I'm not plugged into the power at home, so it's all the inverter's powering everything right now. So what I'm going to do is just turn that off. Give that a sec to turn off. It's a bit noisy.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
There we go, she stopped. So where are we at? We've put in an inverter, put in 3 100 amp hour lithium batteries, heap of other gear, a couple of solar charge controllers, a DC to DC, and 3 panels on the roof. It's all in. The Sparky was out the other afternoon. All the AC's all hooked up and changed over to the inverter now so that we can run the whole van off the AC and basically head out bush and go off the grid. Off grid, they can go out there and enjoy the country and not have to worry about the power. And if they do run out of power, they have a backup generator. So what I want to do is check the system out. So I've been checking it out over the last couple of days, and something just hasn't been sitting right with me regarding the solar. I don't think it has been putting out as much power as what I would expect from 480 watts of panels. What I've done is I've drained the batteries down because I'm well aware that the solar charge controller is not going to jam in full power if the batteries are full. I've ran the aircon, I've turned the fridge on, I've let the batteries pull right down. I've got a nice sunny day today, and I've had a look at the data, and currently it's only outputting 108 watts from 360 watt solar panels. So I've done a bit more digging, I've done some testing, I've gone on the roof, checked each panel is connected properly, they're all connected properly, they're all outputting power, but 2 panels are only outputting 50 watts each, and the third panel is only outputting 20 watts. Now I know the third panel is going to be low because at the moment there's a TV aerial that's hanging over the panel, so it is shaded, which is fair enough, but the idea is when the motorhome's out in the bush or whatever, they'll put that up, so at least it'll get sun some of the day. All the panels are in parallel, and I'm only getting 120 watts. I saw it reach 130 watts this morning, so it's not good enough, and it's way less than what I would expect, even taking into account losses from the roof down, plus conversion efficiencies and all of that nonsense. It should be closer to 100 watts, 120 watts each panel, and it's just not doing that. What I did this morning was I called 4Drive Supercenter because we got the panels off 4Drive Supercenter, they're King's 160 watt panels. I did an unboxing video. If you want to check that out, I'll put the link in the description. And it was a good experience, I have to say. I called the number, I was literally on hold for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, got straight onto a guy, had a chat, ran through some info, and basically, yep, going to send you a warranty claim form, get us some details, and we'll start a warranty process. So there's obviously something wrong with these panels, and now we've got to go through the process. The biggest bummer is that I've glued them to the roof, and the only saving grace is that I followed 4Drive Supercenter's recommendations, and I've glued them to core flute, and I've glued the core flute to the roof. So I'm hoping that I can get a bit of wire or something and make some handles up, and literally, like how you used to get old windscreens out, for those of us who have done that before, and you can cut through the glue. So I'm hoping that I can work it through, cut the glue and get the panels out. So I'm not really looking forward to that, but it's got to be done. They were good about it. They obviously know that these things happen. It's just a bit unfortunate that they're glued to the roof and now I've got to rip them up. And I don't have time to do that before the bus goes. It's literally going the next day or two, which is a bummer. But other than that, everything else is working mint. So what I thought today was, apart from that, I'm going to show you the servo in the Touch 50 right here. I'll put it close up. I might do that now actually. So we've got the batteries at 89% currently. Our solar's currently putting in 100 watts, 107 watts, and our AC loads are only 25 watts, which will be the inverter sitting on standby because I've just turned the aircon off because it was too noisy. What I'll do is I'm going to turn the aircon on and we'll see it jump up. There we go, just cranked up the aircon. Compressors kicked in. There you go, 780 watts. And that's all coming off the batteries. Righto, so that's it really. It's quite basic once you know how. It's not basic at all. So that's the Touch 50 display. These are really cool because you can, you know, see all your data, go through all your settings, all that stuff, and then a visual representation of where the power's going and coming from. I'll show you the inverter now. I've pulled the seat out. The electrician, it was a bit hard to get in there, so he's like, oh, can you pull the seat out? And I'm like, yeah, I can actually. And then I pulled it out and I'm like, why did I not pull this seat out when I was working in there? And this is the little subboard that we've put in. Oops. So we've got inverter in, that's the AC into the inverter. That one's our grid main, so that's our main grid changeover switch. So up is inverter, down is grid, and we've wired it so that when it's on grid, the grid will supply the whole van, but the inverter will still get power in to charge the batteries up. So the idea of that is if the batteries are flat, chuck the grid on, and then the inverter will only be charging the batteries until you flick it back up to the inverter. Or if the inverter does fail, you can flick that off, flick that down the grid, and run the whole van off the generator. And then that's just our main switch there. So that's where we're at. Everything is done. The only things that I've got left to do is the cable tidy up when the bus comes back, because I've run out of time now. I'm gonna have to just reroute some cables and join some cables together in a common lug, re-lug it, zip tie it up so it's all nice and neat. Might put some mechanical protection over a few of the different cables. I've got bolt down terminal fuses on the way. The only fuses were in Adelaide, so I'm waiting for them to come in, so I'll pop them on, cover up the terminals so that there's no bare terminals anywhere. And I've got to work out a hold down for the batteries. So if you got any ideas of hold down, pop them in the comments. I'm thinking I might put a piece of ply, 17mm ply across the top of the batteries, and then work out some way to clamp it like that somehow. They're wedged in there, they don't rock around, they can't pull them out, so I'll just work something out and chuck that in. That's it. If you've enjoyed the last couple of videos about the motorhome and you want to see more of that sort of content, let us know in the comments. Hopefully you've liked this video. If you have, make sure you hit that thumbs up, help spread the word out. And also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the bell, and that way you'll be able to get notified every time we release a video. Right, I'm out of here. Got to chuck that driver's seat in, get this bus out of my yard. I need to get some sun on the grass. It's it casts a big shadow. So thanks for watching again, and remember, the weeks are long but the weekends are short, so chase the weekend. Catch up.